All right, chat. I am back. See, Kevin got a gifted a sub. That's good. Thank you. And a donation from Minicho. Okay. So, how do we do this for this? So we've had $20 in donations today. And so basically it's another 4 subs towards that. I wish it counted both. Anyways, figure it out. Okay. The plan for the rest of today is this. We're going to draft core draft until I either rage quit, the stream ends, or we hit the extended stream goal. One of those 3 things is going to occur. I'd be happy to do this all evening. It's rainy here. I wouldn't mind a couple beers. My wife's busy today. It's a really good day for this if we can make it work. So let's start off with this. This counter, just add 4 to it right now. Maybe I could track that for donation to us. Hold on. Problem is that, anyways, I like the visual of the graph of the bar, but the bar doesn't do donations and subs, but I will count them both towards it. So, okay. All right, pack 1, pick 1. Is there ever a way you don't play green in this format? This pack is terrible, by the way. I mean, it's Incubation Druid. I'm not even sure there is a second pick. Maybe the Exclusion Mage. Maybe if you're desperate, the Soul Scar Mage. But that is a terrible pack, all through and through. Ooh. So Patient Rebuilding I find a bit slow. I don't like Voracious Hydra. Vraska is good, but multicolored. There's 2 Triomes here. And Mangara is excellent. Thank you, Crazed Carney, for the tier 1 sub. Yeah, we're at 4 of 5 for the streak for XtraFilthy streams. 5 of 5 is dating advice with Filthy and Frigg. That's the current voted on goal. I want to take Mangara here. You could talk me into a Triome too. But I really like this card. I think this card is seriously good. Oh, thanks for the donation, Minijo. Who gifted? Oh, it was Caloric who gifted the sub to Kevin. Thanks, Caloric. All right. What's up next? We got a Beanstalk Giant for ramp and fixing. The body itself is pretty pathetic, honestly. You need trample in this format. There's a lot of token generation. It's an Evolving Wilds, a red-black duel, Bag of Holding, another red-black duel. It's in our color. I think this is better than the green-blue one, the one that casts as a sorcery and then goes to your graveyard and draws your cards. I like Trickster a lot, but this pack seems bad. I mean, maybe Basri is okay. Maybe we haven't done a mono white aggression deck in a while, although Mangara really doesn't fit that format either. Like a wide white deck. Oh man, I don't really want any of these cards. Guess I'll take the Beanstalk Giant for fixing. Alright, white-green duel, green-black duel. Take an extra turn card, which has been pretty strong. Hornet Queen's been fine. Maul is excellent. There's not a lot of flying in this format. And flying is a lot of chip damage. And Behold the Multiverse is very good too. That's probably the strongest card in the pack. But Maul is quite good, man. Maul's a really specific deck, though. It's an aggro deck looking for reach, right? Man. I want these duels. But I don't know what colors I'm playing yet. It's really hard to pick duels for it. There's a Rex Sage in green. There's a Manadork in green. Not much else in here. Body Double is okay, but I don't actually see like Dimir, like Graveyard Matter decks in this format ever. And there's a Surveyor who I like. I'll take the Rex Sage when we're playing green over first Surveyor. Green-blue duel. Well, green-blue pathway anyways. Black-blue pathway, black-green pathway. Pack is... I don't like this effect. You may play additional lands at each of your turns. I've had the shit kicked out of me by this effect, but I don't like it as an effect in general. It feels like it requires you to be flooding to take advantage of it. Especially a body that doesn't do anything else seems really weak. All right, so green, black, blue. I guess we're gonna take one of the ones with green. Maybe green, black. Leave ourselves open to some other things. There's a Thassa, pretty late Thassa. It's not the best cards with Thassa yet. It's okay with Rex Sage. There's a Cultivator, which I quite like. And a black-green duel. Nothing else I really want here. I don't think we're white weenie-ish with the other cards we picked, but maybe. Dude, Thassa's great. I don't know if I want to build that deck again. I'd maybe be okay with the Caravan. Such a late Thassa. All right, Protector, Apparition, Phylith, Harvester, green-white, dual. Taking Harvester. Colorless, super powerful, evasive, everything you want in a 3-drop. I mean, this is a 3/5 flyer for 3 that anything crews it. Body double doesn't need to be a Graveyard Matters. You can clone it with clone anything that's dead. Yeah, that's why Graveyard Matters makes that card better, because you have more targets to choose from if you are putting cards into your graveyard above and beyond just the creatures that die. The problem with Body Double as a 5-mana just clone a dead creature is in the base game there just often aren't going to be cards that are worth spending 5 mana to clone in that graveyard. Red-black duel, black-white duel. We're currently, and then the Exclusion Mage. That's the Exclusion Mage synergy. That wasn't picked either. Went all the way around the table. An Exclusion Mage is kind of crazy. Red, white, blue duel. Red, blue, white duel, and Thrash Threat. Veil, some white cards. We seem pretty far from white, although we do have 2 white cards here as well. It's another evasive flyer. Or the Hydra. I don't know, man. I don't really like this Hydra. I feel like we're drafting too honestly right now. Merfolk in blue. Nice ETB. Not really Thassa ETB though. There's the cat and the bag. I don't want the bag. I guess if we're playing core blue, Trickster's good. I don't know that we're playing white at all right now. Maybe. Bind the Monster is cheap blue removal. Hurts you, but it's good. Sword is excellent, but not... It's excellent sometimes. It's actually pretty weak in this format. Slow, expensive, gets countered. I don't understand what opponents do. I never understand when I look at these plays. Like, all right, Harvester Wheels. Okay. Skittering Surveyor, I mean not Harvester. What do we take Maul over? What else is in that pack? Green, blue, Splashland, or whatever it is. Pathway. All right, pack 1, not super clean on what we're playing out of that. We might be blue and green. I mean, I don't hate this with these cards. So what is in this pack? Pack 2, pick 1. There's a tutelage. We don't look like much of a tutelage deck right now, but we could be. We don't look like much of a deck at all right now. There's a Toski, an Escape to the Wilds, and a Johnny. This could just be a Toski. See if we get there where we can have attackers. There's an ECD. I'm not sure I'm playing white, and it's double white. It's not super splashable. I don't love the card. I think it's between Toski and Teferi's Tutelage. And I feel a little burnt on always building the tutelage decks. Like, I kind of want to do something a little different. There's a Hostage Taker. And a Green Seeker. Some okay white cards. I should build the white weenie deck at some point in this format, but I haven't yet. Okay. Vandal's a lot worse in this format. I already have a Rex Sage, which is doing a lot of what Vandal does, but with no conditional requirement of exiling a creature. Just Vandal hasn't performed very well for me in this format. All right, so we got Mana Dork, who's also colorless mana. Tezzeret. And a Yorion. And a Waker. Black-blue duel, but tap. Curiosity. Do we have enough flyers? We have no flyers. All right, I think we're on Tezzeret. It has some synergy with Toski. Some synergy with some Artifacts Matter stuff. It's not very exciting. So Warrant Warden. Field of Ruin. Another tap fetch land. And a Scholar. Scholar is definitely the highest power level card there, but we have no synergies with that right now. Like nothing. We don't have a single card we could pull out. There's a Stomp. It's kind of weak removal. It's either fixing or just the removal. It's our first piece of removal. Literally no removal yet in blue. Well, we have the bind, but the bind doesn't really count. We have one piece of quasi removal right now. I guess I'm taking Savage Stomp. I don't like this card. It gets blown out by a lot of different ways. 2-drop as a beater, 3-drop Accelerant, 4-drop Accelerant that's not a creature. Jace if we'd gone the mill route, which we passed. There's a Reclamation if we had anything to do on other people's turns, but we don't. We look very stupidly honest right now. No one wants to be honest. I mean, we've got a Thassa and an Incubation Druid. Is that enough to take Rec Sage? Or not Rec Sage, Wilderness Reclamation, I mean. Maybe. I don't want another 3-drop, even one of these. I don't think this fits our deck. I'm happy to wheel this, but the card's not super contested. Beetle is good, but not with our deck. We don't have any 4-drop, any 4-power creatures at all. I think I'll take the Wilderness Reclamation. I'm looking for power level again. Black, green, white duel is good if I want to play Hostage Taker in a blue-green deck. Mimic's always nice. Bouncing Mimic lets it change which creature it mimics, right? That's pretty flexible here. Try it. Haven't played that card much. Expertise has been good, but it's good in like a wide beady kind of deck. We're nowhere near white red. Okay, this pack is super bad for us. That sucks. I don't really want to be green blue. I don't really want to be Simic, slow Simic here. So another one of these 2-drop. Oh, this is not the one, the other one. This one is a Tutor. This one is threatening to grow, and the Terramander's evasive. We don't have any instants or sorceries, or rather only one right now. So the odds of casting this are pretty weak, but we do have the ability to adapt with Wilderness Rec. I'm going to take the Terramander. It's not a strong card, and it doesn't do... Wow, Teferi's Tutelage Wheels. I think I'm taking the Life Crafter, looking for cards that fit with Reclamation right now over the Tutelage. I don't think we're mill. We're trying to kill them with creatures, I think, which feels bold. Lay Claim. This card is a blowout when it connects. It's also ridiculously expensive. Black Blue Dual Wield. Curiosity Wield, but no Fixers Wield. All right, take the Temple. Sphinx Wield. So blue is open. I don't know that we can really play these cards, but we'll see what pack 3 gets us. Got some top end there that we don't really want. I wonder if we should have just jammed the white weenies. It's just like Mangara is a white defensive card. It's not really a white weenies card. Yeah, it's the Terramander. I mean, that's why we did wheel the Kenra. That's why we picked the Terramander. Is I feel like evasive creatures in this format are better than they are in a lot of other formats, because I don't really feel like, although there's a ton of removal, so you're probably not going to finish someone with a single evasive creature, there aren't a lot of flyers and there aren't a lot of reach creatures in this format. So there's a ton of tokens, so the ground often gets kind of walled up. So if we're looking at Toski plus flyers out of things like Tezzeret, things like Terramander, etc., and then keeping our mana up to generate like token advantage on the ground, we might be able to win games like that. There's an intervention in blue. There's a perfect in green. There's a Traxos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's only not a lot of Traxos triggers right now for that. Good red. Elixir is maybe a card we could play in this deck. It might be too slow. It's draw and healing. doesn't seem like a lot here. This could be intervention too. I like the perfect. It's been a surprisingly value 3 drop, but it's not amazing. Okay, Sword of Body and Mind and Warkite Marauder are both cards that we'd really like in this deck. They're kind of like contingent on each other. Saheeli I wouldn't care about either. That would kind of be nice. And I like Guardian Idol. Garruk is nice too, but I actually think Garruk is worse than something like a Sword here. With a couple evasive creatures, our goal is to win, and Sword is kind of going to get us there, right? It makes the small flyers into really big threats. I really want that Warkite Marauder. I'm hoping it wheels. I see those go super late. All right, Snakeskin Veil for protection, Prism for fixing. Primal Might is cheap removal that sometimes wins you the game. I think I'll take Primal Might over Veil to start with. I don't think the blue is very interesting. This card is better than I give it credit for, honestly. I always get these confused. I like the Raven form of this, and it's kind of the evasive shit we want. Can I try to wheel Primal Might and take this guy as a 2-drop bird? I don't know. It's kind of a big mana investment for the Scry. I'm not so keen. I don't know. I've had opponents play that bird well, but I'm not sure it's good enough. We'll see. Or rather, we won't see because I didn't take it. Do I want to? Would I play 2 pieces of equipment? I mean, I'm going to play the body. Would I also play Bone Splitter? We're looking for cheap flyers. This gives me bodies on the board. I wouldn't mind a Mind Stone as an accelerant to also draw later. I think that's probably better than Bone Splitter here. There's no green. The castle is a little bit interesting. The counter and the Enrapture and Aurelios or whatever his name is are all okay. I'm happy to wheel a couple cards there rather than Mind Stone. That's a really powerful card. Not so much of what we have here, but it's in our colors. I think it's better than the Elf Lord, the Elf Planeswalker. We do have some elves. We make elf tokens. This card is very strong though. Supreme Will, Opt, and Reclaimer. I mean, it's fixing, kind of. Or a Censor, or a Supreme Will. I haven't played this card yet. It's kind of a counter. Kind of works with Reclamation. I like Opt a lot, but we have no cheap spell synergy that I'm aware of. I don't hate Censor either. It's a little bit less flexible than Supreme Will, but it is also cheaper and I can cycle it for 1, which I really like. Supreme Will is basically like cycle for 3 off casting it. A little bit better than cycling, I suppose. I'm gonna grab the Octopus. Haven't played this yet. We haven't tried blue-green evasive creatures in this format, mostly because I don't think it works, but partially because just haven't had really the cards for it either. So white-green duel. There's the token-generating insect swarm, and there's Kazuma. Kazuma as the vehicle is okay. I don't think I'm playing that though. So we did wheel both Intervention and Elixir and Traxos. I don't think I'm closer to playing Traxos. I can play Intervention over Elixir, I guess. Warkite did wield, so we got paid off for that choice, our decisions there. I'm happy to take it here. It's actually an excellent card for this deck. Hey, 80. You just said something so stupid in my channel, I'm just gonna ban you immediately. Goodbye. Okay. All right. All right. The Raven Wield, as well as +1/+1 and Hexproof. I'm gonna take, I mean, actually, you know what? I don't know about this guy. I don't hate that trick either. Let's do that.
Quitters never win.
Drunk Akuma, thanks for the sub.
That hard-hitting analysis.
Hard-hitting analysis indeed. Dive down actually kind of where we want to be in this deck. I don't know that I need an Enraptured. I mean, it's one more thing for Thassa, I guess. Elf Lord Wield, take that. So green-blue is pretty open here. Now, whether or not it's strong enough to win with, I don't know. I feel like it's too honest, right? Like, evasive creatures are a little less honest, but they're still fairly honest. Maul is a splash. Maul is not a particularly good splash card. Maul has a big re-equip cost, Maul is a tempo thing, right? So you play Maul down and you make something really, really difficult to deal with. But the equip cost is 4, which means if you're just putting this on some like little random dude, as soon as they remove that random dude, it's hard to get it back again. So it's a really good tempo card, but it's not like the rest of the equipment tends to be a value card, right? You grind them out. You have these little tokens that aren't super valuable. You're going to bounce this, you're going to move the sword to the token for a very small portion of your total plays that turn to put pressure on them. They're kind of different types of equipment. So I don't disagree that giving my creatures evasive and first strike is nice, but I kind of want this in a white deck where I'm tempoing them already, and then Maul, if they remove that creature that Maul's on, it's not quite the same, right? So anyways, what do we not want to play with here? We don't want to play with Platinum Angel. I don't think we hit any. I mean, we hit one card that we could play Scholar with, right? Which is the 5 mana, whatever the hell it was. I don't even know, we drafted in the end. Oh, it's 6 mana. It's the expertise. So I don't think we want. I mean, Scholar's a big flyer, so there is some argument there. We're not playing black. Well, we are. We're probably playing Hostage Taker, but we might not be. We'll see. What else can we get here? So we did not wield the other axe. We're not playing Vanguard, obviously. I don't really want to play Claim. I'm unsure about playing Expertise. The greatest power on our board is going to be like 3, 99% of the time. So I think that's probably not playable for us. Although draw 3, cast a card with 5 or less is okay as a sorcery. If this were instant, we'd 100% play that. I don't think we're playing Lake Claim, but we'll see. I don't know about these other Planeswalkers quite yet. And our game plan is Flyers beating them to death. And a lot of stall on the ground. I need 10 cards out right now. Okay. Just going down the list of weaker cards. 9 cards, that's a land, kind of. Excited to see Octopus here. I've been talking about this. Every time I see this card go by me in draft, I'm like, man, this card is good. It seems crazy not to get it. I mean, we're missing some of the really nice green payoffs in this set too. I don't know. This deck doesn't look amazing to me. What's the matter with Mangara? You always pick it but never play it? There's nothing the matter with it. I think it's really strong. I pick it often because I think the card is nuts. I don't play it because I don't always end up in white. If I were playing white, I'd play this, and unless I had an incredibly finely selected aggro deck, I'd play this. This is just really nice defensive white creature. We just don't end up defensive white here. I'm not sure we need Surveyor in this deck. It does have nice synergy with Thassa, but it's possibly cuttable. Beanstalk is fixing, but I think it's somewhat. I think this card is less exciting to me than Surveyor, like for real. We have just a one piece of equipment, I guess, but we care about bodies for crewing our Harvester as well. Stomp is kind of weak removal, but we don't have much removal. We've got Bind, Primal Might, and like Stomp and Hydra, so we probably are going to be forced to play Stomp whether we want to or not. This is a Toski deck. Giving Toski equipment makes Toski annoying to block. All of my flyers drawing me cards makes it very annoying for the opponent. I thought this was a Wilderness Reclamation deck, but I want to double check that in a second. This is a Thassa deck. Is this a Tivar? What is this? Tivar Kel? Elves give me black mana. It's nice. We have a couple of elves. How many? We've got the. This guy's not an elf. He's an Artemister. So we have the Perfect and the Incubation Druid as elves. Only 2, which is not a lot. And the Rex Sage, I guess. 3 elves. This card is a squirrel. I thought this was a creature swimming underwater this entire time. That's a squirrel. What is the background? Is a squirrel doing coding? As he leaps through the air? Like that, I mean, it's pretty. I just don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Anyway. It's a tree. Do you see the symbols on that tree? Oh, it's the world tree. Okay. Am I going to meet him in Valheim? Okay. Is this card worth it? It's Planeswalker that generates tokens. The tokens can tap for mana. Or we can put +1/+1 counters on existing elves. I don't think that is playable here. All right, what about Hostage Taker and Rashmi? So what do we get from Hostage? Hostage Taker is removal. A ridiculous combo with Thassa later. We have to find black mana for it. Our black mana is not so great that I'm excited about playing it, right? We've got 2, one of which is a tap land. If we play Elf Lord, we have more, but we don't actually have any color or multicolored fixing right now. The emblem is dead. We'd never bother embleming the 4 mana Planeswalker. Some questions about these cards then. So what comes out here if I just start slamming down these cards? So we can get 2 cards back into the deck, playing the cards I want to play with this particular deck. Okay. How many cards I get back in? 2, and only 2. This is without Wilderness Reclamation too. So what do we get with the existing cards with Reclamation? We get tap downs off Thassa. We get perfect activations. Incubation, adapting. Card is maybe cuttable too. It's quite good for a lot of things though, so maybe not. And we get Ovoya. So maybe Ovoya is the card we don't play with this deck if we're not going to play Wilderness Reclamation. I feel like that card's very mana intensive. And it's not a body that does anything initially. Okay, so if we're playing this, so we get 3 cards in, we're not planning on putting Reclamation in. What are they? This card is draw, high threat, it's just slow. It's also an elf. News to me. We could try to get Elf Lord as a it could, for example, be Hostage Taker, Rashmi, and then the Elf Lord, the Elf Planeswalker, or it could be Hostage Taker, Rashmi, and like Skittering Surveyor's okay. Could this be a 16 land deck? So by having Adapt, Eternalize, and Equipment, as well as some activated abilities, we do set up to beta utilize our mana. So mana isn't dead on our board. Although it's also not super great on our board either, right? Like we don't have so many draw effects that we're just gonna be able to endlessly use mana. Which is why I'm not playing Wilderness Reclamation. Could cut Thassa. Why the fuck would I cut the best card in my deck? Yeah, these are Thassa synergy cards. We could get one more. What wins this game? Well, our game plan is to beat them to death in the air. Whether or not that gets there, I don't know. I think this has got to be, it's got to be Rashmi, right? We don't have a super high curve, so we can fit another 4-drop. Card's great. It's just like you just double spell, or it either reads double spell for free or draw a card, which is pretty damn good. It's a dishonest deck. It's the opposite of an honest deck. An honest deck is like honest magic, right? Is this the phrase, and the phrase refers to, I play land, cast creature, go to attack phase, turn my creature sideways, attack you. We're not trying to do that. This format does not allow you to win like that. You know, occasionally you can do it like a super hyper focused white or red aggro deck, right? But like the rest of the format just destroys you if you do that. So here again, we're playing very little interaction. Hostage Taker is more interaction. We basically only have Primal Might and what? Rex Sage, Primal Might, Exclusion Mage. I guess Marauder and Trickster kinda. Hydra kinda. This could be Beanstalk Giant too. If we're playing Hostage Taker, it wouldn't be terrible to get this guy. He doesn't trample, but he's a big dude who fixes for us on 3 if we have to. How would I rate Embercleave? Pretty dishonest. It's a surprise you're dead kind of card, right? So we get 2 cards in here if I cut Snakeskin, 1 if I don't. So I don't think tricks are super good, right? But we have stuff we want to equip to, stuff we want to fight with, stuff we want to adapt, and stuff we want to cast Octopus on. I guess Octopus can't be blown out by them removing the target because it still comes down as a creature. What about Kazmina? I don't know what happens if you bounce them, what they come back is, and I think they come back in as the front side only. But Kazmina's pretty bad here. She's very slow and very clunky. Is Terramanda even good here? That's a question. We put it in initially for Rec Sage, or for Wilderness Reclamation. We don't have a lot of instants and sorcery, so it's never going to be a cheap conversion, but it is a target for Octopus and a target for Sword as an evasive flyer. So, I don't know is the answer. It certainly is not going to be a cheap adapt. So there's going to be a fuck ton of games where, I mean, actually there's no discount at all. We have like 1 sorcery, right? So we could throw it in the maybe pile for sure. And if those come out, it's what? Beanstalk and Rashmi? These cards don't really advance our game plan to what we're doing. Well, we could do Rashmi and Elf Lord. We have 2 cards in. We actually have 3 cards in if we take these out, right? If I take those out, we could run Beanstalk. I don't know about that. Rashmi and the Elf dude. We don't have a lot of elves though. Rashi is an elf. Rex Sage is an elf. The Perfect's an elf, but I want to do other things with his tap effect. And Incubation Druid is an elf, but I already have mana generation off that tap effect. This card doesn't seem strong to me. I mean, I can generate elves, which generate black mana, which is kind of nice. It means basically if I cast this, I'm 1 turn away from I cast it, plus it. I guess it's not. It's equal it. I don't know what you say. You plus, minus, or 0 it? I 0 it, get an elf, dude. I don't like the body on Beanstalk Giant in this format because I don't think it wins games. A non-trampling, just big dude. I could maybe cut Beanstalk. Do I have creatures that can fight? Like, no, right? We just, like, our highest powered creature is like a 2/3. So part of me wanted to get that other fight spell in, but we don't have any creatures that actually fight. I mean, it's +1/+1. I have a 3/4. I mean, it removes some of the really annoying effects. I'm thinking of, like, the 1/2 Sack Priest. I'm thinking about a lot of the, like, lords, like the 3/3 lord, etc. So the deck doesn't fight well, but do I still need it? Because we have to have spot removal. There's a lot of really nasty cards in this format. Could be Intervention, Xander. Intervention got a lot less exciting when I chose not to play Reclamation. Did we cut Terramander? We did. I'm starting to have a lot of elves. I'm really not. I've got like 3 elves. I think people are tuning in right now. Keep getting the same questions again and again. So we're allowed 1 card in, right? Like that. So what's the card we're not playing that I wanted to play? I kind of wanted to play that. I kind of wanted to play Beanstalk. Is a big dumb dude on the board good enough? I really don't think it is. We don't actually have that high of CMC either. I don't know if that makes Rashbi better or worse. Okay. Alarios. Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's not the one I was thinking. This card is good for our deck. Clogs up the ground on 3. It's a very different card than this card, right? Like swapping those two, the only way you'd swap those two particular cards is if you think this card is the weakest card in our deck and that's the second weakest card. Because they don't have any sort of game plan. Like removing this card to add this card doesn't really advance, or it doesn't change the way the deck plays, right? And this is another Thassa target, exactly. I mean, I guess we get Death-Touched Elves. I could try this elf. He seemed really unexciting to me, but we could try him. I think we're playing this. The card I'm most questionable about is Beanstalk Giant for the card that's in our sideboard that I kind of would like to play. We need to cut 1 land. Let's do the count in a second. Oops, I just added a land. All right, so that's 40 cards. What are our sources? 7, 8 blue with a 9 blue there. 2 black, 3 black. We don't need 9 blue. Well, maybe we do. And this is 7, 8. Oh, it's actually 10 blue. 10 blue is too much. Is that a forest in there? So this is 6, 7, 8. So this is currently 9, 8, 3. We have a lot of double green. What's our target to copy? I don't think it matters, Xander. I think we have enough good targets here. Hostage Taker's fine. Sea Octopus is fine. Shit, I'll copy the Druids. We can change the target with Thassa. Warkite's a good copy. Merfolk Trickster's a good copy. We got targets to copy. I think we just need another green source, though. We have Veil, Incubation, Druid that we want to play. Kenra's pretty weak in this deck. I guess it pumps a flyer. Kind of wish I had drafted that little 2/3 Raven guy. 6, 7, 8. Wait, we just have, so it's 8, 9. So I guess I go down an island and up a green, and we're going to be salty some of the time. Is that even right? 7. We have double blue Trickster. We often don't want to play that on 2, though. Octopus I would like to play as soon as I have a good target for it. As a flash creature is okay, but this mutate cost is not double blue anyway, so it might be just fine. What happens if I mutate onto a Harvester, chat? When it goes back to a vehicle, what happens? Does the mutate creature get popped out? Does it die? Is it still there? Maybe we could not play the swamp and just can't tutor a black source. I mean, the elf provides black too. It's not a creature you can't... Well, when it becomes a vehicle, it is a creature. That's what it does. This vehicle becomes an artifact creature. That's what crew does. I kind of wish... I guess I can Google it. All right, what happens when I mutate onto an artifact? All right, what does it say? Creatures, whatever's on top. So theoretically, if you wanted the vehicle's power and toughness, you need to still crew it. But if you wanted the vehicle's effect, you put it on the bottom. It would be a creature that you mutated it with. It doesn't really tell me the question. Does it turn back into a vehicle each turn? So, what is the actual text of me? If you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it under or over target non-human. The creature, they mutate into the creature on top plus all the abilities under it. Isn't crew an ability? Oh, crew is become a creature. So if you're already a creature, you don't become a creature. So it probably makes this a 3/5 flyer then. If I put Octopus on top, it's a 2/2 flyer. That's permanently a 2 flyer, 2/2 flyer. If I put Octopus beneath it, it's a 3/5 flyer that when it hits someone draws me a card. I think. It's not like an enchant. It's like literally the permanent becomes that. So I guess when it changes phases or whatever the fuck it is, it's not going to pop the Octopus out. All right, so this is our mana base. We have 3 swamps. We have 5, 6, 7 blue, and we have 8 blue rather, and we have 7, 8 green. So we are 8, 8, 3. 2 tap lands only. Actually, that's 9. We're 983 favoring green. Okay. All right. What do you guys think, chat? Getting 5 with this? Also, if anyone's curious, that black life gain matters deck yesterday went 6-2. I played 5 mill decks and beat 4 of them. Can we drop the swamp? No. No, we can't. Because we have to have a basic for Surveyor to hit if we're tutoring. So. Has to be a creature you don't think it works on vehicles. When you crew an artifact vehicle, it becomes an artifact creature. So I think you're probably wrong, but I guess I don't know for sure. All right. All right, good luck on your betting. Let's get our first couple games. And today, by the way, is potentially an extended stream. So we do these every so often, generally on Saturday, but sometimes on other days of the weekend. We've started a little bit slow because I did the Valheim this morning with Kevin. But if you guys wish for extended filthy hours today, subs are how we get there. Subs or donations are how we get there for that. So if you're interested, that's how we're doing it. So it could be up for, you know, a lot of extra hours today. Sucks going second with this hand, but we have a 3-drop, 2-drop we can't cast, and 3 drops, and then another 3-drop. Kind of sucks. I forgot this created tokens too. Act like I never go second in this game. Yeah, right. Opponent 1-drop into 2-drop. We drawn our only swamp. Feels fucking bad.
Come, steal yourself.
Echo 025. Thanks for the sub. Alright, I would have really liked a Merfolk here. Would have been a great ambush on the Shambler. Didn't attack with either is kind of weird. I mean, this is an easy Rex Age. I guess he can crew it and then hexproof it if he has that trick. I gotta get creatures on the board. I don't think I can handle the Harvester right now. Is it time for crew plus trick? No. Okay. He just wants to pump his Shamblers okay as well. It's kind of a bummer that Trickster... Oh, dude, come on. Alright. Go first, have a 1-drop, a 2-drop, a 3-drop, ramp into a 5-drop that kills my creature. Kind of bad news here. It's crew 3. Have no answer to that card. No answer yet, I guess.
Yes, let the salt flow through you.
Welcome back, Flipper. Thanks for the resub. So I can bounce shit. I could fight his Druid. I can fight his Shambler. The Shambler's gonna grow. It's a threat. He needs another creature to crew this. The problem is he's gonna kill my dude afterwards. Deal with the threats we can deal with. I mean, technically I could have exclusion maged that creature and reset the tokens, but there's not a lot of tokens on it yet. I don't know. I had to do something here. I need to use my mana, but this is pretty sad. Maybe could have just resolved sword. Alright, guy's got an answer for that too. He can now just crew his boat with that. Seems pretty fucking bad. Equip sword, cost of sword is 2. Taking 8 here. That card is such a bomb in this format. Like, so good.
You have returned.
This could have been perfect too, I guess. Maybe it should have been perfect. I'm trying to get something that can get out of range of the 6/5. Thanks to the resub refinery scroll. Welcome back. Okay. So I can bounce this back and slap the sword on it to make it a 4/4. But the fucking 4/4 doesn't challenge this. It does 6 to my face next turn. Is that better than just Mindstone draw? How many permanents is he at? 5, 6, 7, 8. He's at 8 permanents. He's going to have mana to double cast if he wants. This is actually going to be a 7. So I'm going to 2. We have used our only removal for that I'm aware of. I don't know how the fuck we get out of this, chat. I don't think we do.
A new subscriber. Come, steel yourself. We are building an army.
Thank you, Top Flonzi, for the gifted sub. Green and blue protection. Masked Vandal. Never didn't have the perfect answer. Sure. Okay. Rip my sword. Cruise his boat. Rip my face. Rip my creature. That's quite unfortunate. Welcome to your first game of Magic today. I hope your options felt meaningful. I hope you enjoyed your draft. All right, let's just see what was on the top of our deck because reasons. Okay. All right. Yeah, it feels bad to Rex Age. I mean, I don't know how many decks we've drafted Harvester and Sovereign in, but it's a lot. And it's a lot because both those cards are super good in this format. So he had good cards, went first, had a good curve, drew the appropriate amount of spells and cards. He played very honest Magic, but it was very solid cards for it. So, rip. Jags90, thanks for the sub. Welcome. So let's put this in perspective. So there's 3 tiers of extended stream today. And what are we at already? At 9. Okay. 9 plus we have the 4 from the donations. So we're pretty close to first tier of extended stream. All right. Are we going second again? I think we probably are. Yeah. We have a 2-drop. We have a 3-drop. We have an answer to that. So it's good, I guess. White, black. Looks like my mana dork's about to die. No attacks, no blocks. Or rather no attacks. So 4 mana here. I mean, I could just slam Toski, honestly. Part of me would really like to get rid of that Dreadhorde Invasion, and I'm kind of expecting removal out of my opponent. All right, I always forget the Summoning Sickness on this, don't I? That's why there's no attacks. Thing is, I'd really love to have some. I'd really love to play this after I've already cast this. I could ignore this entirely and play Harvester first. Now, I can't currently crew Harvester. We give him another tick of that Dreadhorde Invasion. It is a 2/2. I don't know. It's not super threatening to start with. But I'm expecting there to be other things out of this. I liked that this wasn't, I mean, Toski and this have the same benefit, right? They're not really a target to instant white and black removal on his end step, which is likely what he was setting up for when he passed that turn. So probably each of those plays around that. Sage plays around it a little bit too, because Sage is happy to just die after blowing up something. So here I actually would, I guess I play this as a swamp. We're gonna Sage here. We're gonna blow up the invasion. We just drew Snakeskin Veil, which seems pretty good. So I could Crew Harvester, smack him in the face. Means I take the counter attack from the 2/2. I could just pass the turn. This is the second turn he hasn't utilized any of his mana. So I don't hate him having no plays here. He might remove Sage, which would be kind of annoying. And I can crew in response, but I'm going to lose the damage and lose the block if he does that. So maybe instead I just want to trade here. So we'll crew the Harvester. I'm expecting removal, but he may or may not actually have it. I'll take my lifelink now. I have no lifelink synergies. Okay. Could fight the token. There's got to be something better in his deck. I'm sure we're about to see like a fucking angel or something here. He hasn't done anything turn 3 or turn 4, which is kind of wild. We haven't utilized our Incubation Druid. Kind of makes it a clunky play turn 2. Maybe I should have, I mean, I don't have another play 2, I guess. But. Could be missing a color, maybe. Opponent is taking a lot of time off this game. I'm gonna task Toski. There's that fucking angel, right? The 3/4 flash angel. I can get 2 draws. If he has the angel, he eats the Sage, but I draw off the Harvester then. If he doesn't have the angel, I don't draw. Would I trade Sage for a draw? I would. Could also be that 2/2 flash creature. Forgot to lifelink. He could have this card here. Which one would I prefer to play around? I kind of want my second blue source down. Okay. So he did have the removal that we put him on. I guess he was just saving it last time. Maybe he just drew this. I'm not sure why I didn't remove the Harvester last turn with that play. But we've now got a 4/5 Harvester every time it comes into play that's drawing us cards. He hasn't. We got Toski resolved. We drew 2 cards off that. Foretold. Is that angel tokens, you think? Or do you think that is didn't attack with this? So he's trying not to die, or at least not to let me draw all the cards. Not a bad draw here. So that could very well be Doomscar. Don't necessarily want to put more on the board. It could be the angel token thing. I'm not sure what I beat there. Or even if I try to beat that. Could just drop the Elf Lord. But what does that get me? Could drop this to pump the other elves. There's 2 elves on the board. I mean, this does give me power. There's no way I kill him, right? I don't want to cast Might into that. I mean, I could Might with Toski. Toski's indestructible. So I guess I get a better fight off of Toski. So I could try a big Toski pump to go through this and try to win the game. He's at 9. We can make it, we have 7 mana. We can make it +6. Why don't we try that? He would need, I mean, I guess Seal Away still blows this out there. Let's try it though. I'm worried this is Angels and I can't beat it. Game? I chose the targets. Give me a fucking oh, dude, this is so bullshit. Oh, never mind. We just lose the game because I'm choosing targets and now I can't. I can't even attack with my Harvester because it changed that. That's so shitty. That's so shitty. Alright, guess take a turn off. No problem. Guess I don't want to fucking survive the Angel cast here. Ah, fuck. That makes things harder. Okay. So I chose 7 and needed to choose 6, so it didn't cast. It couldn't just downgrade it 1. It's annoying. Okay. It's not extended bad manner. I can get blown the fuck up by summoning 2 4/4s I can handle, I guess. It was the card I was worried about. We could have killed him last turn if he didn't have exile effect removal. It's just frustrating to get screwed out of that by the interface. Alright, this pumps a card when it comes in. We can Primal Might with Toski to remove 1. This is a 4/6. It doesn't care about his shit. We can make this guy a 2 with Death Touch. That seems fine. Alright, let's equip. How are we crewing? I can fight with this too, just to remove it. I have an extra green. It's only 3 to equip. Okay. So where are we casting this? So how much is this? 2. On who? Alright. Got there. Got there, but gave him an extra turn when we could have killed him. Okay. Sword protection. The sword has so much text on it. It creates a 2/2 when you... I don't know if it's when you're attacking or when you hit them. It gives you protection from 2 colors that I never remember. I think it's blue and green, but I'm not entirely certain on that. And it mills them in addition to all the other things it does. It's just it's a crazy weapon. It's just... This has not been the format that it shines in. The tokens on hit. I mean, I guess we can read it here. Yeah, it is on combat damage to player. I can't keep this hand, unfortunately. Lots of things I want in it. But I don't have enough lands for that hand. And we're going first. Well, I just mulliganed and I actually lost lands here. I had a green and a blue, I believe. Maybe it was a black and a green. Now I'm blue, no green. Huh. It's exciting. Can't mull again though, so rip. Not excited to see red mana there. I was really hoping my opponent would be dirtily and I could get in. This is gonna get like shocked. Yeah. I actually don't think there's any pause here except shock, right? Since, oh, he missed his chance though if that was shock to remove it. That's the other pause, is a 1 mana cycle effect. This is extremely likely to be counter magic here, but it could also be cheap removal. He may not want to counter a Surveyor. I think it's better than running out Sword though. I've got Thassa in hand with 2 targets that care a little bit if this resolves. So we dig up green mana here, I guess. Okay. Was it also a shock that he missed? Could be the 2 mana deal too. Eternalizes, pulls it out of the graveyard. It's a token and it exiles it out of the graveyard, becomes a token, has some stuff with it. It's a weird one to kick. Tapped out, I like it. Alright, we got 2 great plays here with Rashmi or Thassa here. We'll resolve whatever we want to resolve here. So I think I'm resolving Thassa. This will just fix my land draws for the rest of the game. Okay. Although maybe I should, I mean, the problem is if I resolve Rashi and then he removes it, it's only a 3 health dude. No blocks. So what is this next turn? Harvester plus Kenra, I guess. Attack with the Surveyor. Okay. Sword will make stuff unblockable. That's fair.
You and I are gonna take him out.
So he's committing to killing the Surveyor with that, which is definitely annoying.
Burn!
This is my creature. Okay. So the thing is here, I'd really like to resolve Harvester. I only have 5 mana though, so ideally I would play out Harvester and Sword, but I can't. I guess Rashmi can crew Harvester, so it's not impossible to get value out of it otherwise. Alright, not super excited to see Chandra there. Yeah, it's a good point about the unblockable, Xander. Although I only get tokens when I hit his face, or I don't get tokens when I hit Planeswalkers, correct. Okay. Kenra is not a legendary, right? Nope, just a Jackal Wizard. I guess Kenra is a title then and not a name. Resilient Kenra.
Yup, you're going down.
Okay. Title, race, sure. But I mean, it's descriptive as opposed to a title, as opposed to a name, rather. Like this is Rashmi, when Rashmi is the guy's name. Right, not her not her her race or her goal or whatever else. Mazebind Tome, okay. Resolve. Can bounce the token. Can develop the sword. He must have an answer to fucking Harvester, right? Otherwise, what? Well, he can't attack me with Harvester. Maybe he's just okay with Chandra dying. So I could bounce token here. Seems really nice to get an Exclusion Mage on the board too, since I can bounce all of his shit. Kind of wanted to play out Sword, slap it on, and go. But the problem is this turn, I have to attack the Planeswalker anyways. So I guess I'd rather have 2 attackers here, the Kenra and the Harvester. I come into play. If he counters it, he's tapped out. I can crew the Harvester, kill Chandra. If he doesn't deal with this, if he doesn't counter this and it resolves, I've got an attacker as a 2/2, and the mage can crew the Harvester, so Chandra dies again. So I think we get Chandra every way here now. It's fine. I can play as an island. I might actually need to do that. I have 5 next turn. Yeah, I'd love to have the Exclusion Mage there, but I can play around a counter by... I can't play around a counter and a removal by doing nothing pre-combat, if that makes sense. And I don't want a removal for my Atmospheric Harvester. Is this non-land permanent? It's a creature, right? I guess I get my token, my charges back with Harvester for more lifelink. Can't crew it this turn. I wonder if I don't know if I should. This card seems so valuable with the Thassa already resolved. It just becomes a clone of any creature that I want it to, right? Maybe that's not good enough when my only creature is a legendary in hand in this 2/2 here. Got him. He's got a Maze Mind Tome on board. He can't beat this? I've got a 2/2. The fuck is that concede? I can copy legendaries. Can I though? Does it say it's a copy except it's not legendary? I gotta read the card again. Some of them say that for the clone effects and some don't. No, I can't. Copy of a creature except as a shapeshifter and rogue in addition. So I mean, I can copy it, but it will. I have to choose. I can only have 1 legendary on the board at once, right? So I mean, I guess technically you're right. I can target him, but it's gonna kill one of them. Okay. The sword can be equipped by the Harvester, though every time the Harvester turns back into an artifact that's not an artifact creature, the sword becomes unattached. So it's very expensive to equip the sword on that. Going first with this hand is nice. Is it Druid or Mind Stone? I think it's fucking Mind Stone, so they can't kill my ramp, so I get Rush Me out in turn 2, or 3 rather. I guess the counter argument is I can use that mana the turn it's cast, or I can't use this mana the turn it's cast. The mountain! Forest or swamp? No removal for Rajmi. That's fucking great. Going first, Rajmi out on turn 3. 4-drop in hand to cast off. This is good. Now, this Dragonkin Berserker is getting really scary really fast. Another swamp is pretty bad here. Kind of need second island, huh? Maybe a bad attack, honestly. Thought process was I'll trade Rashmi for Dragon Berserker. But I guess the other part of that thought should have been, at the moment he may not have a combat trick. I just assume this guy, I mean I guess I just resummon it, so it doesn't make any difference. I guess it's technically free there. So maybe it's a fine attack. But I guess the point is more along the lines of I want to make sure I have a blocker for that Berserker so it can't just trigger its dragon tokens for free. Because that's a little bit scary. Hydra fight. Okay, sucks. I never did find that merchant, no. Nope. Alright, so we drew the island that we just played last turn with the Glass Pool Mimic. We have 6 mana. I need to eat the Berserker, right? I'm not sure I can eat the Berserker though, right? Because the Berserker can boast after he's declared attacks. So I can Trickster away the... I can Trickster away his ability to attack, but I can't prevent the addition of it. If he boasts, can I react to the boast by Trickstering it? I can't, right? So I'm not in good shape here. I mean, Thassa currently makes this an indestructible blocker as well as attacker. I wish I had some answer to a fucking 5/5 flyer. Cast Escape. Jesus Christ. Hornet Queen. Thrash. Double plays lands. What kind of attack is that? He's playing around Merfolk Trickster, chat. He doesn't play around the counterspell, just slams Escape, but plays around Merfolk Trickster. That feels weird to me. Feels real weird to me. This board is fine. That's true, but it's also missing damage. Is this card more common, or is a counterspell more common? So if you're gonna play around anything, don't you play around the one that's more likely to occur? And if you're not gonna play around anything, don't you attack? It just seems sketchy as fuck. Yeah, it's a good card. Steal his Berserker. I don't know. I do have another blue source. Nice. Oh, but if I cast this and steal the Berserker, I don't have enough mana open for Trickster. I don't think I'm going to be able to cast it this turn though. Since presumably he's going to... this is the wrong target. It need to be that target because he's going to fight it as with an instant. I know he's got it. I can see it. And this card doesn't protect. I fucking did that. He can still fight it, right? It's on the stack. Is there any way I can do anything about that? It's not though, right? So it's just a bad play. It's just a bad play. If I bounce it, it fizzles. I don't have a bounce. So other great ideas. Could have stolen the flyer. The flyer's a token. If you scoop, it's in the past. It's true. It's pretty fucking bad news, chat. Pretty bad news right now. I really find that non-attack with the Berserker sketchy as fuck. Yeah, he's killed every single one of our creatures that gets any value out of this. Yeah, I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. It's not even good here. It's not a card. So I'm not dead yet, but I'm barely hanging on here. Yeah, I can tap the dragon. It's gonna do something with my mana for sure, but it's not super good for me. Actually played the wrong color land here too. Wish I the fact that Hydra has counters has been so brutal for Merfolk this entire time, right? Any other creature we're like good with. Threats just keep on coming.
I am the fire of rebellion.
I cast 2 spells, a threat and a card that can kill your only creature on the board. Feels bad. It's a good card to draw, always tapped out. Where does it go? Doesn't give me trample. I could tap a blocker. I gotta remove that dragon, right? I mean, he's got other cards that are a huge fucking problem for me. So I could kill the Planeswalker by Primal Mighting the Radha and tapping the Elvish Rejuvenator, but the 2 creatures that are a big problem for me right now are the 5/5 evasive creature and the 3/4 trampler, which is pretty fucking shit. At the moment, I'm going to get the Rejuvenator. Rejuvenator doesn't seem very good. So it just needs to be +2 to kill that. I wish it would give me just a little bit more fucking time here, huh? Yeah, I think it should have been dragon, maybe. Okay. I don't really care about the Radha as a thing, so maybe it should have just been kill dragon, not tap anything this turn, chump the Radha. I mean, he's just going to chump with the 1/1 either way. I don't know. Opponent has the threats. For sure. Got another one sitting there. It's another big dude. It's been a pretty serious series of plays from our opponent here. Yeah. Yeah. Feels like a loss, doesn't it? Very exciting. Can jump. Is there any way we survive from here? So we have 4/4. We can tap 2. Take 2 and 2 is 4. Take that is 1, or is 6 rather. So we're always dead. Always dead if we double tap. If we cast this dude, it's 1 blocker. The blocker chumps. We tap 1. We take the same amount either way. Okay. All right. No coming back from that. Didn't have interaction for that Berserker. The Berserker getting a dragon off is pretty much fucking good game. I don't really understand his decision to cast the 5-drop into the 5 mana into spell into open mana, but to play around the Trickster with the dragon, it feels like he misses 2 damage. He may just not want to figure out what 2 blue is, or maybe just be saying that the dragon is high enough value that he doesn't want to risk the Merfolk Trickster at all. But it seems a little bit sketchy to do one but not the other. So maybe not. Misinteraction with the entrapped guy. What do you think an entrapped guy is? That doesn't mean anything to me. No blue mana sucks, so I can't get the octopus out early, but we've got a 3-drop, 2 3-drops here in lands. Okay. The non-attack was just to block so you don't draw. That could be it too. Wait, what did I have on the board? Just a 1/1? No, he cast a creature, didn't he? I don't remember what he did that turn. What else did he do that turn? I honestly don't recall. Okay. He had the Rejuvenator, and he had the what? I hate playing a 2/2 into Double Mountain, by the way. Goodbye, 2/2. It's nice knowing you. I guess this could have been Sword and then minus the Planeswalker, but... It's a very passive Boros deck. I don't remember the board state. I mean, there might be another explanation for it. Like, it doesn't have to be stream sniping. It just seems a weird series of play. It feels like if you're worried about 2 islands, you don't cast your super big value card, the 5 mana Explore the Wilds, whatever the fuck it's called. And it feels like if you aren't worried about counters, not worried about him having something on 2 mana, you're probably going to attack with the Berserker, right? So like those things seem to me not to fit together as a whole. Is he gonna keep removing my stuff here? Yeah, he is.
My employer sends his regards.
No blockers for this Squirrel, so we held the 2/2 back. Why didn't he attack with the 1/1 then, Felky? Was my Tusky was my 1/1 untapped? I mean, that would make sense. My 1/1 was untapped. Or why not attack with the 2/2? I guess he's only attacking 1 account. Oh, Jesus Christ. I think this is as good as all my other plays. I don't want to bind the monster on Young Pyromancer. Young Pyromancer needs to die. I'm not binding a 1/1 token. The Octopus is an ambusher for a 1/1's kind of whatever. Resilient Kenra doesn't get me anywhere. It's the same. It's the same value as casting Kenra as it is to put this 2/2 down. Can I afford to value block here? I doubt it. Getting run the fuck over right now in the least fun possible way ever. So that's good. So this thing goes face for 2. So that's 6. He's got 11 on the board. I don't have 3 blue, so I can't bind plus octopus. I could just octopus draw, but it leaves me no blockers. I can... That's not true. I can swing mutate onto the octopus. Probably just gets removed, but if he spends his turn removing it, that's probably okay. I don't think I can win with this hand is the problem. This is non-human, right? Okay. Oh, I forgot my 2 damage here. Whoops. Kind of forgot about that ETB giving me damage. Alright. Hordes of tokens from fucking Pyromancer, no play till turn 4. Kill all my shit on the end step kind of deal with Boros aggro. It's a bit scary. I'm pretty annoyed about the Abrade immediately killing my thing. There are elemental synergies. I'm not sure there's soldier synergies. Okay. I think I have to draw again. Am I removing fucking tokens with Primal Might? 4, 5, 6, 7. So I get +6/+6. So I can actually get it. I mean, he's actually dead if Kenra doesn't die. If I live this turn and Kenra doesn't die, then the counterattack can kill him. I mean, I'm dead to burn. If I remove a token, I'm probably still dead to burn. I still take 2, so I'm at... I mean, look at me thinking about things and options. Just kidding, I've got my other reach spell to your face. Don't worry about it. Alright, is that deck 0 and 3 already? Like, we went 2 and 3 with this deck, right? The deck was pretty bad, but it feels 2 and 3 feels really low for that. I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty rough for sure. Kind of thought that was one of our worst decks that we've drafted in a while, but not a very nice set of no removal was very challenging for that. An opponent having all the removal there was really rough. He cast 6 removal spells on us, right? Shock, lightning, the double spell there, the Banefire, and then the Abrade was 6 removal he had for us. All 1 to 2 mana spells, except for the finisher, which is just 5 to the face with Banefire. Yeah. Oh, he did forget to name it. That's true. All right. That has me a little tilted, of course, but not super bad yet. Pack 1, pick 1. That Vendorous Gearhulk was a pretty big blowout versus us. Kaya's excellent, but it's 2 color. Valky is okay. Not exciting, quite honestly, at 1 color. People like this Inspector, but I have never felt the urge to draft that card. This is cube draft. Valky is not card advantage. There's no... Xander, how do you even get to card advantage out of Valky? Like, where do you find card advantage out of that card? It's a lot of things, but it isn't card advantage. This is either Hulk or Kaya. You want Wilderness Reclamation? That is a build around, I suppose. You force an opponent to discard a card. He doesn't discard the card, though. It goes under Valky. And when Valky dies, he gets the card back. It's an interesting pick. I think this card is more interesting. We'll try the Wilderness Reclamation build around first pick. I actually didn't see that as an option until it was someone was mentioned about it. There's a Maul. The shitty God. A Caravan and a Rexage. I really like this card in this format. I like a body that kills something. There's the reinforcements that just killed us. I'd love to see that Caravan wheel, but it won't. I don't hate Karuga. Yeah, when they kill Valky, they get it back. Even if you already transform into it, they still get it back. Wow. Okay. Punished for the cards we've picked so far. So Hostage Taker is, of course, amazingly good with Dirtle. Emberstorm Predator is excellent. And which of the Moors is the black payoff card for life gain? We don't have to play Wilderness Wreck. We can play black-green with life gain matters, although I haven't found a black-green deck with life gain matters to be relevant yet. They're almost always mono-black. Toski doesn't fit with either of these cards. Explorer is fine. I think I took the power card there. No one likes this combo but me, huh? Alright, take Thassa. I'd love to see Mythos wheel. Mythos might even be good enough here, but I want to give up my Thassa. I do love this combo. Like, love that combo. Champion's a nice blue early drop that comes back later. Can do things with mill synergies, can do things with bouncing synergies to cycle aggressively. Other than that, there's not a lot in here. Magda is always interesting too. Can splash one of these colors if we want. Magna can crew and generate stuff too. Maybe Magna will wheel. A lot of people aren't taking it for some reason. We get a Green Seeker, it's reasonable. A Bind is removal. A Phyla is a win con. Seems a bit slow. Demon Pact. Can live with the Green Seeker. Okay. Flame Thassa, we keep drafting her. I really like this card. I like the synergies with this card. I think it's really strong. Just a bit slow. Bastion for the life game matters deck that we pass. There's a Wayward Swordtooth. And a Beetle. And a Chevelle. Cheville? We're never ever killing a creature with blue-green, so that seems unlikely. It's a 2-drop though. I don't like this card. Card's not a card though. Alright. Dude, we could have a sweet black deck. There's Rankle. There's Charming Prince here. Fauna Shaman's nowhere where we want. Mouth Defeat isn't very good. Blue-white duel. Lightning Strike and Thirst. What cards are we going to add to this deck? At the moment we can still splash blue. We need some much better fixing if we're going to play lots of colors. I don't really want to splash a Lightning Strike. I don't think. Fauna can tutor. Yeah, sure. These cards are not cards I want to play in this deck. I mean, I can put a shit ton of cards into my graveyard, I guess. Is that what I want to be doing, though? Black-white duel and a green-white duel. I'll take the green-white. Caravan did wheel. It's surprising to me. I'll take that. Toski wheeled. Shadow Spear wheeled. And Stonecoil Serpent wheeled. Doesn't feel very Toski-esque to me. It is an invulnerable blocker with Thassa. We saw how weak it was, though, as a 4-mana play. I think I'm going to take the Serpent over Toski. I just played Toski and didn't find it very strong. Burial Rites. Huh. I don't think so. Could have had a really cool black deck. Alright. What else in here? Loris to go with that black deck we're not playing. Beanstalk Giant as ramp and acceleration. Lava Coil if I splash that for removal. Some pretty solid duels. We don't know our second color. We're green something. All the duels are black, which is nice, but they're in colors we maybe aren't playing. There's a Gem Razor over here. It's pretty fucking solid as well. We could have creatures for Gem Razor though, and we don't have a lot at the moment. And there's a Fae of Wishes in here. I don't know what to do with that. I think that's a Beanstalk Giant or Lava Coil is what I think I need to do with that, because the rest of the cards don't play with our deck at all. So maybe we'll take the big body and the fixing. Yeah. He can't block for shit. It's the Thassa combo is the blocker, right? Because the Thassa resummons him repeatedly. It's not a very exciting combo, but we were playing it. Sphinx is fine here. Great Shark is fine here. I'd love to play some fixing. There's a blue-black and a blue-red. There's also acceleration there and a sweeper in red. Red seems always open in this format. I don't know why. I actually don't like Sphinx. Like, I actively don't like it. I still think it's the best card in the pack for us. Black, green, white Triome is pretty solid. Surveyor's solid. Elves are solid. Maybe I elves and hope to wheel Surveyor. Or that. Intervention's fine. I don't think Folio of Fancies gets us anywhere. Alright, there's another dork who gives us extra land drops. We got 2 of those if we want it. Also fixes our colors. There's a black-green duel, which is fairly interesting, and a black-green land that decides, which is also fairly interesting. I don't care about the blue cards. I don't care about the Rimrock. So this is Dryad. Mask Vandal is okay. Dryad or this one. Vandal is not so good in this format, quite honestly. I think I'm going to take the Blooming Marsh. I really hate that 2/4 body. I just don't feel like it does anything. Prism for fixing, another mana dork. A Patient Rebuilding. Sahili. And Ashaya. 5 mana. Doesn't tutor anything. Not exciting whatsoever. The Prism's draw, but draw is not super good. This is a 1 power. This is my least favorite of the mana dorks in this format. Cost me 2, doesn't have any body with it, can't do anything else, only ramps up if you have big creatures. I think I might play Fixing. It's a blue-white duel. That actually works. I don't know what we're splashing white for yet. Maybe we're splashing blue and we're playing white if we get some other white cards. I'll play Mammoth. Creature or land. There's also another blue-green duel and a white-blue duel. Hopefully one of these will wheel. I'll take any one of those 3. I don't think I want Raven's Warning. I think this card is too slow. You gotta be like blue-red and have a shit ton of low-cost instants for that. Jerry with 5 more gifted subs today. Cheers. Thank you very much. Alright, so I haven't really been playing Wolf Willow Haven, but perhaps I should be. There's also Ashiok in here. This could be a mill deck. Very easily could be a mill deck. You don't need many pieces to make mill work. There's that Patient Rebuilding bouncing around. I wasn't really planning on playing core blue though. I was kind of looking at a value deck. I think I'd rather the ramp in color. Vraska is playable in this deck. Chromatic Ori is playable in this deck. It's a red-green duel. Don't need the red-green duel. Do we want a Vraska here? We're trying to get black splash in here. It's okay. Can draw, can gain us some life, can kill some cards. All right, wheel to blue-black duel and some red-black duels. We don't want the red-black. We'll take the blue-black. It's going to be awkward sometimes. There's a red-blue duel. The Archive wheeled. The Great Shark. I'll play Great Shark if we're blue. Surveyor did wheel. I don't know what. I mean, I know it's not the strongest format Surveyor's ever seen, but fuck. It seems crazy how often they wheel that card to me. Like, that's first pickable in Dominaria. It's like first pickable that affect like in all sorts of locations. Feels like to me. You can have a big dumb red dude to win the game, a really dumb green dude to not win the game, or artifact hate. I don't want any of those cards really. All right, pack 3. We need to tighten this up a little bit. Currently, the blue-black duel is not super useful. It's a tap land. If we're playing core blue, it's okay. And then I guess we're splashing a little bit of white and a little bit of green. We certainly don't have any more white cards. This card is actually fairly reasonable. It's also our first piece of removal in these colors, which is kind of scary. So I guess we're taking Inscription. And an Uprising that we hope not to play. This deck looks really similar to last deck. There's a Vivian, a Cycling Obstructionist, a Chariot, and a Thief of Sanity in this pack. There's also a Traxos. We don't feel super close to Traxos. I don't have so many good artifacts in this deck to trigger it. So what is this? Is this Chariot over a Vivian? Thassa makes Vivian okay. Really? How? I think this is Chariot. There's not so many flyers in this format. Vivian hits everything, so it's not like we're not going to find targets with Vivian. And it's not like the plus isn't value. It's just I'm not convinced I can protect Planeswalkers who don't kill things when they walk in. Traxos is a cast trigger. I don't understand how Thassa makes Vivian okay. Thassa can't target Vivian. It's creatures only. So I don't even know how those two cards interact, in what way. Alright, there's a draw, sorcery draw, not very exciting. Double black removal, which is pretty far from us. There's a really solid Rashmi again, but I feel like we just played this deck like 2 seconds ago and we had a better version of it a minute ago. I don't really want another 4-drop either. We've got a lot of 4-drops. So what the fuck do I play here? Ah, dude, maybe I just take it and see. This pack seems super bad for us. There's an octopus. We have no flyers this time. Last time we had a game plan involved hitting them in the face. Here we don't. We could play Thrash as a removal. We could play Intervention as a black instant speed removal. That plays nicely. There's a Angel Wincon over there. I mean, I can't pass that card. The card's too good. If we have any white mana sources, it's just too good. White-black duel is fine. Kinda. Blue-black, not very exciting. There's a Visionary. Fuck that. I'll take that over the duel. Playing green like 110% of the time these days, which seems probably wrong. It's hard to get away from all these all the accelerants early for me, anyways. But we're only doing okay in this format, so we might just be totally wrong. All right, at the moment, we're not splashing red off anything, so this card can just go on our sideboard. Same with that one. I don't think I'm playing Doom Foretold. It doesn't really feel like a Doom Foretold deck, although I do have some tokens and some permanents that we can leave behind to sack. Just not super exciting at the moment. All right, we have no targets for Scholar. We have no powerful sorceries or instants. There's the fight spell that we didn't play last time that could play this time. There's a white-green token matters thing that doesn't matter to us. Slim fucking pickings on blue-green here, huh? I literally don't have a targetable spell for that. All right, Savage Stomp it is. There's that shitty Elf Lord again. Expertise again. It feels like the same cards. Seems like the exact same cards, the exact same moment. You could play a Johnny. We don't have any wide effects. Plussing for life gain is whatever. Vigilant attackers are okay. There's an egg for cycling and fixing. And there's a tap land. I think I'd rather play the egg. Berserker's here. It picked 6 in pack 3. Means almost the whole table is past Berserker. Veto, Waking the Trolls, Helm of the Host, white green, selection card, and a Bubble Snare. Feels like Bubble Snare is probably where I want to be with this. I wouldn't mind the land. We have almost no removal. This doesn't make me take damage to the face. This deck seems so similar. It's a Garrick. I don't remember what was in this pack that Garrick's still there. Escape the Wild, still here as well. Tome, which is excellent. I will play Garrick.
No matter the plane.
Got a Thief if we want to play that, and a Traxos. How close are we to Traxos now? It's not going to let me count, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. It's really not enough. It's 8 sources right now of untapping Traxos, and we probably don't have more coming, and we're probably not playing all of those. And we probably don't care that much about some of them too. I can play Consigned to Oblivion. Could play the Spider. We don't have any rebirth effects, but there's not so many flyers. That Spider seems amazing. Intervention Wield, I'm really happy about that. I'd love to play Octopus too, but it doesn't really seem like the deck. I don't care about either of those cards in this deck. Not a lot of 2s, but the Intervention as black removal seems nice. We're not playing this guy, that guy. We're not playing any of these. Okay. Not playing any of those. This does not feel like an expertise deck to me. I'm not very big on that card. I can maybe play a Johnny, but I think he just gets cut.
Honor and courage.
All right. So this is like a worse version of last time. Sweet. Okay. Witch 3 was probably the pick. Maybe, but our first 2 cards had 0 synergy with Witch, right? Like 0, 0 synergy. Witch is really the mono black life gain matters card. So, and it's the only payoff in that colors from my perspective, right? Like there's some enablers, like Loris is kind of enably, but gets removed super fast in this format. So I don't know. I mean, are we getting baited picking Hostage Taker? Sure. Yep. All right. We got baited. I mean, the biggest bait, honestly, might be the Reclamation pick, since I don't think we ended up with shit for instants and sorceries. So we have Shark, Consign. I'm not playing Doom Foretold in this deck. I don't think I'm playing a Johnny. It's a land. That card's really questionable. Yeah, we got almost no instants or sorceries in the end of this. Or instants or that card gets played there. So this is a card I'm considering not playing. Where is it there? These are the cards I'm looking at, instants and sorceries. I can activate Willow Haven on their turn. Nope, I cannot. I can activate Egg as a gain